Je me réveille, la journée commence, le soleil se lève. Rien de mieux que de démarrer sa journée par un bon café. Je me suis intéressé au café depuis que j'ai découvert la magie de la torréfaction. Et depuis, ma passion pour le café n'a cessé d'évoluer et ma mission est de continuer à promouvoir le café de spécialité à travers le monde. Vous savez, ma passion du café s'est faite d'abord par des rencontres. Ce sont des passionnés qui travaillent ensemble pour apporter le meilleur d'eux-mêmes à chaque étape de la transformation du café. Je suis fasciné de voir comment chaque étape est cruciale, depuis la plantation jusqu'à la consommation de café. Le café, c'est une histoire, ce sont des histoires qui s'inventent chaque jour. L'industrie évolue rapidement et on n'est encore qu'au début, surtout en Asie du Sud-Est. Le café subit un long process avant d'arriver dans une tasse. Il faut d'abord récolter les cerises à la main, ensuite y ôter le grain de café qui sera lavé et séché selon le processus. Le café vert est ensuite transporté à travers le monde. C'est la deuxième matière la plus échangée après le pétrole. Une fois arrivé chez le torréfacteur, il est torréfié, moulu et prêt à être préparé. Tout se passe sans que nous nous en rendions compte. Parmi ces nombreuses histoires qui peuvent exister entre toutes ces étapes, je vais vous en raconter une qui présente des personnes passionnées qui travaillent dans le secteur du café de spécialité. Et ils ont un rôle différent et indispensable pour obtenir une haute qualité de café. C'est une histoire spéciale de café et elle démarre maintenant. Le voyage nous transporte dans des endroits insoupçonnés où nous en apprenons plus sur nous. C'est certainement le meilleur moyen d'apprendre et de comprendre le monde qui nous entoure. Le voyage, c'est aussi des rencontres. Une raison nous pousse vers une destination inconnue pour y vivre une aventure inoubliable, avec des gens formidables. Dans mon cas, c'était partir découvrir une nouvelle culture et en apprendre plus sur le café. Je me suis alors déplacé à travers la Thaïlande et le Vietnam pour visiter des plantations de café et j'y ai rencontré des professionnels du café qui m'ont partagé leur passion. Ma première grande surprise fut d'être invité une semaine dans le nord de Thaïlande avec de nombreux passionnés de café.
Specialty coffee in Thailand is still the new scene for everyone. It's starting to have more and more audience, more and more people who really love specialty coffee. So it's not only referred to drinking coffee, but really about a part of the how to cultivate and process sustainable coffee. So this way it will really help the whole journey from the farmers to the coffee lover that enjoy specialty coffee, and also support to protect the environment, and it also help to present the idea of how to live and have the life together with the nature. Chiang Rai and Chiang Mai has really beautiful and a suitable climate, suitable geography elevations that's perfect for the growing coffee or cultivate coffee. Not only that, but environment and all the soil, and also the knowledge of the farmers that living in this area. They have been growing coffee and have processed coffee for many years. And also the variety of coffee that grow in these regions is Arabica coffee, which could be many different varieties. We hope that this coffee will grow in a good hand of the farmers, and in the future we will have better varieties that produce really delicate, really good quality of cup of coffee for coffee lover in Thailand and in the whole world.
Josh, and here we are 10 kilometers north of Dalat, Vietnam. We're on the Lang Bia mountain where they grow the best coffee. It comes from Vietnam. We have a lot of Typica, Bourbon, the Catamor, Indonesian varieties we grow here. We're also growing persimmon, shade crops, and avocados.
My name is Roland and I am the member of Cahoe Coffee. Actually, I work with Cahoe Coffee 4 years already, and actually I'm the 4th generation of my family that growing coffee here.
We collect the coffee cherries from the farmers, who are all family members here, and we process together, and we dry the coffee, we store it, and we also roasting, selling to coffee shops, have a small cafe in our farm here. So we're a seed to cup coffee farm. Vietnam is mostly smallholder farms, so each farmer has like 2 hectares. And each of the family members in my wife's very large family has 2 hectares in this area. So we kind of work together as like a cooperative group with the families to make the best quality coffee we can make it. So Vietnam produces mostly Robusta as a commercial commodity coffee crop, but we're also doing Arabica in the higher elevation areas here. And this is actually the first area where coffee was introduced into Vietnam. So the late 1800s, just on the other side of the mountain here by Dan Kia Lake, the first coffee trees were planted in Vietnam here, with the Cahoe tribe also growing the first coffee. We're 1,500 meters here. On the back of the mountain, our farm is 1,700 meters.
Our coffee, we not only based on one processing, but in here, one variety of coffee, like Arabica coffee, we also can do the different processing like natural process or honey process. Just depend on how people like it. Just depend how how the customer order. But we like to make it change a little bit and more special for people to come and enjoy it, because we have try different processing. I think it's interesting and you know better about coffee.
My name is Hưng. I'm the founder of Postcarrot Coffee. Why is Postcarrot name? Because this is the name of the white cow in Southeast Asia and in the Red Book to Reserve. And it's the same story for me about Vietnamese Arabica bean. We have a history for Vietnam Arabica bean from long time ago when Vietnam was French colony. And the French people, they bring the Arabica bean in Vietnam. And nowadays we are more focused into the Robusta bean with a high quantity than the quality. And many farmers, they don't produce Arabica bean because low yield and need more labor to produce it. And we are making this brand, and we want to promote Vietnamese Arabica here in this local market. If possible, go further into outside of Vietnam. That's why we had the brand Bosqueros.
Comme Bosgorus, de nombreux torréfacteurs et coffee shops sont présents dans la capitale économique, afin de faire découvrir de nouvelles saveurs avec du café de spécialité provenant de partout dans le monde. Ils proposent d'initier les curieux au café de spécialité en leur faisant vivre une expérience spéciale dans un cadre unique.
My name is Anne, and I'm a barista. I'm working in a Bosqueros coffee roaster from Saigon. And here we're making and we're making coffee in many different styles, which is like Italian style, Japanese style, and Vietnamese style also. And besides the beans, high quality beans that we import from outside, we also support the Vietnamese Arabica beans.
From Vietnamese Arabica, we work direct with the farmer and also with some trader here in Vietnam as well. And for the trader, we work with, because the trader they have the processing system, and that's what we work with them for some part of the bean. And we also direct with like Cahor coffee, like a Josh and Roland, and we work direct with them for the green bean. For the import coffee, we work with the Project Origin in Australia of South Asiatic, and we work with him, and because he sorted the coffee very good from Ethiopia. We have Beloya, we have Colombia here from Nariño, we have Panama from Gran Deva, and we have the Honduras from El Liquidapa from La Paz. And that is we introduce the local people about the new trend that we call specialty coffee. For the Vietnam in the specialty is totally new with another country around them, like Thailand, like Singapore, or like Malaysia, and we are still young. Even we are the second export Robusta coffee in the world, and we have Arabica, but still still not reached to that kind of yet, and because a local taste is also the barrier for that. But we hope that with the community we will increase more.
I'm starting to learn from last year, and now I'm still learning because in the coffee community there's so many things new every day, and coffee change every day also, so we still have to learn every day.
Le café peut donner un goût différent selon d'innombrables paramètres. C'est par des expériences en torréfaction ou en préparation du café que nous en apprenons plus. Que le café soit moulu finement ou grossièrement, qu'il soit préparé en espresso ou en V60, il révélera des arômes et goûts différents. C'est en personnalisant ces différents paramètres que l'on peut trouver l'équilibre qui nous convient pour un café et une méthode de préparation spécifique.
If you come to Vietnam, just come to Boscaros. Yeah, we're serving the best coffee in town. Yeah.
Bienvenue à Bangkok. 8 millions de personnes vivent dans la capitale thaïlandaise. La ville est incroyablement dynamique. C'est un important pôle d'affaires, mais c'est aussi l'une des villes les plus visitées au monde. Nous y trouvons de nombreux très bons coffee shops aux quatre coins de la ville. Les professionnels du café participent à de nombreux concours et événements afin de développer leurs connaissances et compétences. Les offres de café se multiplient et ce depuis une dizaine d'années, et les consommateurs sont de plus en plus nombreux à tomber sous le charme du café de spécialité. Ce phénomène n'est pas unique à Bangkok, c'est une tendance globale.
When we started, the consumption in Thailand was about half a kilo per person per year, and now we're at about 1 kilo. So in 20 years it's doubled, but it's still a low consumption country like most of Asia. I was just in China, and the city I was in, you just can't find a great cup of coffee.
En Thaïlande, il est difficile d'importer du café. Cela bloque les torréfacteurs d'acheter du café de spécialité et préfèrent acheter local, malgré cet taxe élevée. Certaines personnes préfèrent pourtant acheter du café de spécialité venant d'autres pays pour faire découvrir à leurs clients de nouveaux goûts et arômes.
You see it in many coffee producing countries actually, with high taxes on import, and it makes sense in some senses. It makes sense because they're trying to drive internal consumption and internal supply and demand of the coffee. They want to make sure that their internal markets are really utilizing all of their own produce products before they're importing from other countries and potentially competing with other countries. So in that sense, it can kind of make sense, but it doesn't really see to the new markets that are developing and the economic booming that can happen out of that. It makes it slow to grow in some senses. It's very hard for a lot of us roasters various of my friends who work for other coffee roasting companies in Thailand, we talk about this sometimes. It's very difficult to promote that developing specialty market and things like that when there's so many limitations on importing coffees. If there's a 90% tax.
Well, I mean, the first thing is that many years ago, Thai government decided to protect the Thai coffee industry in Thailand. And when they did that through a 90% tariff. The 90% tariff was meant to protect the industry, but as Bryce has just explained, the unintended consequences of that is they lowered demand for Thai coffee worldwide, and they didn't incentivize farmers to improve their farming skills. Why do I need to improve? Our market is protected. People can't buy from outside, they have to buy from me. So the unintended consequences are these problems that we're dealing with. And now Thailand is far behind. By taking an action by the government that appeared to be for the benefit of the country or the benefit of the farmer, it turned out not to be. And so that's a major issue that Thailand's dealing with right now. Well, I think that the first thing you have to realize is that most of the people who serve coffee in Thailand and in most of Asia never drank coffee in their youth. So they may not actually know what a great espresso tastes like. So the level of awareness and the level of training is much higher in, level that you have to do of making people aware, and training is much higher. So therefore, we've tried to spend our time teaching the market as much as we can what is a good quality machine and what is a good quality bean. And it's natural that the person just wants to go to the lowest price. Everybody wants the lowest price. But the fact is that in order to get great quality, it's not going to be the lowest price. But what we try to explain is that if you can you'll be unique if you can get great quality, and you'll be able to attract more and more customers that can make up for that additional cost. So that's the challenge, I think, that everybody, but I think we want to be friendly with everybody in the industry, because as other roasters, as other coffee shops that have roasting in their coffee shop grow, they're raising awareness of the whole market. So we welcome that, and that's, teaching the whole market about great coffee, which isn't that so fantastic to have great coffee?
Faire un bon café prend du temps. Toute la communauté est impliquée dans l'amélioration du café. Nous observons ainsi que le respect de l'éthique, la préservation de l'environnement et l'amélioration des conditions de travail sont autant d'attributs qui permettent une consommation plus raisonnée et durable. Consommer ce café, c'est participer au développement durable. Et la bonne nouvelle, c'est que le mouvement n'est pas unique au café. Cela donne des espoirs pour l'avenir de notre planète de voir autant de personnes qui travaillent ensemble autour de ces valeurs. Mon passage en Thaïlande se termine ici, plein de souvenirs en tête et une volonté de participer aussi au changement. C'est en rencontrant des personnes que j'ai découvert une passion pour le café, mais surtout pour l'univers qui l'entoure. Retour en Europe, voir une entreprise d'import à Berlin pour nous dire ce qu'ils pensent des tendances de consommation et de production en Asie du Sud-Est et dans le monde.
A lot of specialty coffee production in Southeast Asia, in particular Thailand. I think there's potential. I don't think it's a heavy hitter in the specialty industry on a global scale, but I think in future, yeah. The biggest thing that we face on a day-to-day basis doing coffee sales would be fluctuations in price. So the price of the coffee, whether that's from the commodity market skyrocketing or plummeting, or currencies going up or going down, those prices are going to be changing a heck of a lot more than the quality of coffee on a day-to-day basis. So over 1 month period, the quality of a coffee isn't going to dramatically fall, but the price can dramatically fall, or conversely dramatically rise. with events like Brexit a couple months ago and the presidential election, we've seen some huge fluctuations in currencies, which certainly affect the way we can price our coffees and really the ability that specialty roasters in whatever country X can, how much they can afford to buy. So yeah, it's a tricky situation that we're in. I think specialty coffee is only getting bigger. It's going nowhere but up. I mean, we've seen just in the past 3-4 years, there's an explosion of small specialty coffee roasters. Really, I mean, almost on like this just pandemic level, it's just been insane. Yeah, every day there's a new roaster opening their shop. It's been really exciting for us. So, Cafe Imports is pretty unique in a lot of ways compared to other importers because we staff. We believe in supporting the small guy, really, and we have to staff. We pay for it, So with an explosion of all these small specialty roasters, we really have to bump up the amount of people that we have employed by Cafe Imports, which bumps up our costs. But it's what I think we truly believe in, to be able to provide the quality of service and the quality of coffees to anyone and everyone, regardless of how big they are. So. Something I believe in. I think specialty coffee is more sustainable economically. I think quality, well, of course, quality is going to be light years ahead of what commercial roasters or commodity importers are doing. I think it just tastes better.
Le meilleur moyen de communiquer sur un produit, c'est de faire parler directement les ambassadeurs de la marque, qui sont donc les consommateurs eux-mêmes. C'est-à-dire vraiment, à partir du moment où une personne connaît mieux son produit, il va pouvoir en parler avec plus de détails et donc du coup peut-être réussir justement à en parler avec peut-être plus de passion, vu qu'on aura plus de détails sur le produit. Et je pense vraiment qu'une éducation peut vraiment changer la vie d'une personne, c'est-à-dire au niveau de sa consommation journalière, au niveau de sa manière de penser finalement. Pourquoi ? Car on se met à chercher, à découvrir et à se renseigner sur ce qu'on commence à manger, boire, notamment là le café. Et c'est une bonne porte d'amélioration, je pense, dans l'avenir pour le développement du café.
A lot of people agree with the idea that specialty coffee is basically anything you could do with coffee to give your customers a special experience in which they're willing to pay more for the cup of coffee.
Je pense qu'aujourd'hui, il y a une nouvelle tranche de consommateurs qui arrive. C'est des consommateurs qui sont prêts à payer un tout petit peu plus ou payer un café chez d'autres personnes pour faire bénéficier directement les producteurs de café. Et je pense que du coup, ça va créer un tout nouvel acteur dans l'économie qui va pouvoir promouvoir finalement ce savoir-faire de la production de café.
And I think I agree with that. Quality is absolutely a part of the drive right now. What can we do to make that cup of coffee better? What can we do all the way from the processing of it, all the details, the fermentation, how the coffee's dried, everything, like controlling every variable along the way, all the way through the roasting process, all the way through the final brew in the cup quality, going along with like things like new technology like refractometers and stuff like that. So I think quality is definitely a huge driving indicator of that, but I think it's a lot of things. It's like, it's experience, it's what you can atmospherically bring to your customer. The layout of the shop, the marketing, branding of the company, like how does somebody connect with that product or that company? That's been a huge drive. You see a lot of coffee shops, some of them kind of copycatting each other with the layout of the shop or the style, the color schemes and things like that in the shops. But yeah, there's definitely a drive for creating a really special experience in which somebody is going to be willing to pay more for a cup of coffee.
If you were to draw a line of GDP of a country, what we call per capita GDP, So in Thailand, maybe the per capita GDP is $5,000 a person per year. As that goes up in any country, whether that's Korea, Japan, coffee consumption tends to go up with it. And so we've seen that around the world, and therefore we believe that that will continue. The second trend is that maybe 90-some% of the coffee consumed in Thailand is instant coffee. But we're seeing the trend, and we're playing this trend of fresh coffee. So we have two factors that are driving fresh coffee consumption in Thailand. Growth in consumption in general, and switching from instant to fresh. So we believe that over the next 10 or 20 years, there'll be continued great growth in fresh coffee. You know, once someone drinks fresh coffee, they may not go back to instant coffee because it tastes so great.